We're so happy to be with you here today. And let me jump right into our show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since I've been here with you live. I'm so happy to be here with you live today. And so get your pencil and pad out because we're going to give you the number. We're going to be taking call-ins today. I've got an awesome show lined up for you today. I met a young man from the community that just truly excited me and engaged me in conversation yesterday. He came into the station, and well, first let me just introduce him. His name is Demetrius Golette. Happy Saturday to you, Demetrius.
How you doing? Good morning, everybody.
Man, it is good to have you. I'm excited about the dialogue we're going to have today. Demetrius kind of came into the station. He has a clothing line that he's put together, but the name of the clothing line is what jumped out at me. Demetrius, share with the folks, what's the name of your clothing line?
Pretty much the name of the clothing line is God Soldier. More of God, less of me.
Yeah. I need you to get a little closer to the mic for me so folks can hear you all right. God Soldier, more of God and less of me.
Correct.
Wow. Well, that kind of, he had that on the back of his hat, and the design was just so cool. I looked and I walked by him, and then I came back and took another second take at it and said, more of God, less than me. Y'all know that I have this unique interpretation on things, and those of you who listen to my show regularly, I called Demetrius in and says, you know what, man, can I just share with you my concept? Now, what was the first thing that came to your mind as I started talking, bro?
It was interesting. It was spiritual, but at the same time, it was open, very open conversation. It wasn't a closed-in situation with the conversation. It was just amazing to me how we connected.
Yeah. Well, see, the beautiful thing is, man, is that, most people think that when we talk about spirituality or we talk about God, that it's something to be debated. And I'm not one to debate God. I think God and the whole concept of spirit should be shared. You know what I mean? And so I believe we had a sharing experience.
Yes.
Now, when I saw, more of God, less of me, came to my mind was, there is so much more to us than what meets the eye. We think being here in these physical bodies that we adorn to come to this planet, that's all there is. And as I shared with you, remember we talked about our five senses.
Correct.
Folks, I'm going to share this with you as I shared it with Demetrius. When you get ready to go to another planet, just like folks are doing the exploration in Mars and what have you, they can't go in our current spacesuits. They have to put on another spacesuit that will allow them to breathe and live in those atmospheric conditions. Now, so it is with us being spiritual beings. Us being spiritual beings, we donned this human spacesuit to come here and land on this planet. Now, we've been here so long and we've been conditioned by so many people, we tend to believe that this is all that there is. and there's so much more. So, to prove my point, or drive home my point, my new book, Power Up Your Faith and Take Charge of Your Life, I talk about this basic principle that, we live in an energetic universe. And energy vibrates, and it vibrates at unique frequencies. Now, Demetrius, you're a science buff.
Yes. Number one subject.
Okay. So when I said we're all energy, what came to your mind?
Pretty much just spiritual light, vibration, touch, smell, everything works off that.
You're absolutely right.
Connection.
Okay, so that you can see, folks, that's how we connected, all right? So this whole thing about this human spacesuit that we put on, when someone passes away or makes a transition, we think that's all there is. But the Bible says that we should rejoice when we come into this world. We should cry when we come into this world and rejoice when we leave. Because really, when we leave, we're going back to our source. We're going back to where we came from. So as we came here, we landed, we rode that human passenger train for that gestation period. Our human passenger train, we rode it for 9 months, came out through the birth canal, landed here with this physical spacesuit, all right? And this physical spacesuit interprets vibration so that we can navigate this atmospheric or the atmospheric conditions of this planet.
Correct.
Okay, so we have the vibration. Our tongue translates or vibration by our taste, right?
Right.
And our ears receive and transmit vibrations, so we hear.
Correct.
Our eyes view and interpret vibrations to our brain so that we can see.
Right.
And so on. So, and then I talk about our sixth sense, and the sixth sense being our intuitive sense, being that space right between our eyes, where our third eye is, most people say.
Right.
It is considered our third eye. But that is our intuitive eye that is connected to our spiritual source, which is God. It is our umbilical cord to all else that there is.
Correct.
So when this young man walked in and his shirt said "God Soldier" on it, when he said soldier, it's spelled SOULJA. Why did you do that, bro?
Because it's a simple fact. I know we have different dialogues, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to stand out by itself. I didn't want it to be boxed.
Sure.
And us just boxed in with everything else. I noticed when you do certain things out of the box, people notice it more.
Okay.
So I did it just for that point to get your attention.
Well,
and it worked.
And it's real. It's real. It does work. And on that note, I talk about, if we expand our beliefs,
correct,
we expand our blessings. When we expand our beliefs, we expand our lives.
Right.
I was thinking this morning as I was, thinking about coming here to the station and talking with you, Demetrius, and I thought about when I was a kid. When I was a kid, man, me and my nephews, we rolled together because my oldest brother had kids close to my age. We were like 2 years apart, a year and 2 years apart. And I remember, man, we climbed trees, dude, and we'd jump off the roof. Of the garage. So we had a clubhouse, right? We had a tree house, and then it had a second story, on top of the garage.
Testing gravity.
Exactly, bro. So we would jump off with no fear.
Yeah.
But think, man, I'm 58 years old today, bro. I wouldn't think about jumping off a roof. What is the difference?
The difference is, as kids, I think our curiosity of not knowing what's the possibilities make us do things that's out of the box. I feel like once we stick that first fork inside the electrical
plug.
Yeah, then we're satisfied. We have to find out for ourselves. Even though our parents tell us, don't stick that fork inside the electrical socket. When they close their eyes, what we're doing.
Should we do just the opposite of what they ask, for sure. Well, you know what? I agree with you 100%. I think it also has to do with, as adults, we recorded this memory of fear. And fear, as I've always stated on the show, that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Now, it didn't hurt me to jump off that roof as a kid, but the fear that I may get hurt today prevents me from jumping off that roof.
Exactly.
Okay. So I have a learned behavior or a learned way of thinking which has created fear in my heart. So I only have a certain level of belief as to what I'm capable of doing today. Now, the interesting factor is it's all about beliefs.
Programming.
Absolutely. So when we think about it from that perspective, bro, I think about our beliefs in life today. Us as adults. As a kid, you're invincible.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing that you can't do. You haven't been taught what you cannot do yet.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? But as adults, we've had certain experiences and we've had certain experiences that keep us from taking the chances that we used to take. So we lessen our risk is what we try to do, is to lessen our risk factors. But as I think about this, man, and in our conversation, what was your thought when you came up with more of God?